Do you feel that crispness in the air? That means it's time for a fall nitrogen blitz. So if you were to ask me what it's taken to get my lawn to look the way that it does, the single biggest thing that I would tell you is doing a fall nitrogen blitz every year has completely transformed my yard. And we're gonna talk about how to do that today. When the temperatures start getting into the 80s, which for me, where I live, is pretty much the end of August, almost all of September, that's when it's time to do a fall nitrogen blitz. And the reason why you wanna do a fall nitrogen blitz is during the summer, your lawn's taking a beating. It's been hot, there's been kids playing on it, it's stressed out. And when it becomes cooler, when it gets in that 80-degree range, that's when your grass stops putting energy into growing the blade of the grass and starts putting its energy into the roots of the grass to get ready for winter. The basics of a fall nitrogen blitz is to spoon feed your lawn a half a pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet from now until the end of the season, every week or every 2 weeks, depending on the health of your lawn, to be able to help supercharge your grass, get it dark green, get it to thicken up, and just recover from all that summer stress. Not only will it be able to recover, but you're giving it vital nutrients to store up for the winter season so that it'll green up super fast in the spring. So step number one in a fall nitrogen blitz is we wanna scalp the lawn. And scalping the lawn just means that we wanna get the mower deck as low as possible to mow our grass, to be able to get all of that dead material and thatch out of it. So let's lower this mower deck and get to it. All right, so because my lawn is so thick, I'm not gonna be able to just take it to the lowest level on my mower. I'm gonna have to do this in different passes. So I've lowered my mower deck just a little bit. We're gonna mow it, then we're gonna lower it again, mow it, bag it up, get rid of all this dead material. All right guys, on this second pass, I'm gonna make sure I put the bag on my mower, and we wanna bag up all this grass because we wanna get all of this crap out of the lawn. We don't wanna leave any thatch in the lawn. So let's go do it. All right, you can see how much I'm struggling with this mower. I'm gonna put a side chute on to just get all that mulch out, and then I am gonna put the bag on my mower, bag it all up when I'm all done. All right guys, so we just got all of this stuff bagged up. Come and take a look at how bad this beat it up. You can see that by scalping the lawn, it has taken a lot of that thatch out, and now we can see some of the dead, stressed out material. We're gonna pull all of this out with the Scarify, but if we wouldn't have scalped this, we wouldn't even get down to this layer. So if you remember when we started, my lawn looked perfectly green, but look at all the gross, dead stuff everywhere. All right, guys, now we're on to step two, which is the most important step of this entire fall nitrogen blitz. And that's to use a Scarifier or a dethatcher. Because what the Scarifier will do is it'll just get into the grass and dig up all the dead material and also kind of aerate the soil, because the grass is super thick from all summer long. Especially if you're like me, I mulch my lawn after I put product in so it doesn't go to waste, and that thatch gets stuck down in the grass. So like I said, I'm using a Sunjoe Scarifier. This thing is super cheap on Amazon. I'm gonna have a link in the description below, but this is totally worth the money because you're gonna be using this several times during the years, especially if you're gonna do a fall nitrogen blitz every year, which you're definitely gonna wanna do. But when you look at the bottom here, it does have an attachment. This is the Scarifier attachment, this solid one. There's another one that's a dethatcher attachment. You don't want to use that one, you want to use the Scarifier. That's going to work the best. And you just plug this thing in. It feels like a Fisher-Price toy. It's super cheap, but don't worry about it. There is a bag attachment for the back, but I find that leaving the bag attachment off just works better. So you're going to see how this works in just a second. All right guys, look at all the material that this is pulled up, and I was just going this way. So now what I want to do is Scarify going the other way across the whole lawn. But before I do, we need to either bag this up and use a rake to do that in a bag or use your mower. Either way, but let's get all this grass off of here before we scarify it the other way. All right, so that was the first pass. You can kind of see how the Scarifier just kind of tears up the grass and makes space in here, kind of makes lines down the lawn. So now we want to go this way. I mean, I already filled up an entire bag full of grass, and it seems like a lot has come out, but you're going to be absolutely shocked at how much more material is going to come out of here when we do a second pass going the opposite direction. All right, guys, we just finished the second pass, and look at all the material pulled up. I mean, holy cow, that's even more material, it feels like, than the first pass. This just goes to show, this is just the natural life cycle of grass, right? It grows, it dies, it goes into the, thatch layer down low, and it does require maintenance. And this is where most people's lawns just really suffer. They never do this maintenance. I mean, look at all that dead material that was hiding down in the grass that we just pulled up. So now it's time to get all this material in a bag. So let's get that done. All right, we got that second wave all cleaned up, and I just feel like I can see my lawn just taking a deep breath. It can actually breathe. And if you kind of take a look in here, you can see that it's made a lot of space now. You can start to see some soil. It's, kind of tilled things up a little bit. It beat it up pretty good. But what it's done is it's created a lot of space in there for the roots to grow, for nitrogen to go in. And so this is why this is so important for your lawn. It just gives it the breath that it needs to be able to revive and heal itself after that hot summer. All right, guys, this brings us to step number 3, which is a regiment of fast release nitrogen being spoon-fed to your lawn every 1 or 2 weeks. My lawn is healthy, so I'm gonna wanna spoon feed my lawn every 2 weeks. If your lawn is just beat the crap from the summer, if it's just yellow and dead, you're gonna wanna go about once a week until it gets healthy and it's revived. And then you're gonna wanna do it once every 2 weeks. And then you wanna keep doing this until the end of the season, which typically means that the temperatures will drop enough to where you'll notice that your grass has stopped growing. Once your grass has stopped growing, you stop the Fall Nitrogen Blitz. It's officially over. So the fast release nitrogen fertilizer that I personally would recommend is ammonium sulfate. You can pick this up at your big box stores or your feed store. If you can't find it, I'll have a link in the description below where you can get it. But ammonium sulfate just gives you that dark green color, and it just helps the lawn go green super fast. So like I said, you're gonna wanna put a half a pound of fast release nitrogen per 1,000 square feet. So with a granular like this, or if you have urea, that's about 2.5 pounds of product per 1,000 square feet. So I like using a hand spreader. You can set it to the lowest setting, but because I've got 2,000 square feet back here, this holds about 5 pounds. So I'm gonna fill it to the very top, and that should be enough for me to spoon feed this lawn for this week. So let's go ahead and put this down. So I've got this set to a pretty low setting. So I'm gonna start around the perimeter first and then do my lawn one way and then the other way until I'm out of product. So now that I've just put that ammonium sulfate down, I'm gonna use a blower and just blow any product that I got on the cement back into the grass. All right, guys, and that is how you do the Fall Nitrogen Blitz. So I'm gonna wait about a week and show you the results. All right, guys, so it's only been 6 days since we scarified, scalped, and put nitrogen in the grass, and look at how green my lawn has become. Now you have to remember, my lawn was healthy, so I'm gonna keep pumping nitrogen in it once every 2 weeks. Now, if your lawn is not looking like this yet, don't worry, it will. Keep pumping it nitrogen once a week until it starts to look like this and then back it off. But one thing I forgot to mention is it is gonna start growing fast and you are gonna need to start mowing like crazy. At the beginning of this, while the temperatures are still in the 80s, you're gonna be mowing probably twice a week. So just keep that in mind, but let's take a closer look at this. So you can see that all the spots over here that were really, yellow and kind of showed all that dead material, all that is completely gone. It's completely filled in, which is super green grass. And it is getting thick. It is growing fast. It's ready to mow. Here's another view of the lawn from this angle, just to show you how well this has recovered and how healthy this lawn looks. All right, guys, and that is how you do a fall nitrogen blitz. If you like this video, please make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you'll be notified when we put out more helpful content like this. And if you have some spots in your lawn that are just not recovering or that you need to reseed, then make sure you watch this video where we go over the easy steps to be able to fix a bare spot in your lawn. So watch this video, and I'll see you over there.